Doing an apartment on 3 acres of land, which is just in this direction down. So that's where we are building the apartment we call the Atlantica. Each of the apartments have 2 park lots. It's selling for 8.7 million. It means that we are not going to fully finish the apartment for you. So we have to do basic other things there. We are doing the POP, we are doing the roof, we are doing the painting, we are doing the flooring of all of the walls and all of that. So what you are going to do with the buyer is that you're just going to do the windows, you just do the toilets, and then you do the kitchen. That's all. Yes, so that is why we have this place, and that's why we call it Tama Highland. It's fully gazetted land, and we are doing instant allocation on it. So the moment people pay for it, we allocate them immediately. It's 7 days allocation. That's what we call it. The 500 is 5.5 million, everything inclusive. Then the 300, I think, is about 3.5. Yeah.
Welcome everyone to another great time, and it's going to be a beautiful day this hour as we're going to be putting on the spotlight Wealthisland property on the spotlight this hour. As you are connected to this program, I just want you to share it, let it go viral. I'm going to display some of the picture as you already watched the video that we come in with. We just want to give you the background, and I have one of the great leader, the co-founder of that great company with us in the studio that is going to be doing the presentation to you. Is going to do the most of the talking. I'm just doing an introduction just for you to be familiar to some of the achievements of this great organization, or rather company. So as you are connecting to this program, kindly share it, let it go viral. The more you share it, the more you give it opportunity to go viral. This is where you can learn how to invest, and this is where you can have knowledge of what to spend your money on. Where do you want to see yourself in the next 10 years? Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? How do you need to invest your money? What are the investments that is going to be okay for your purse? This is the conversation we are going to be having, and we have a knowledgeable person in this field that have understanding. You have invested, you understand, you have played the game, you have lost, you have won, and you know what he's saying. He understand. And we'll be putting on the spotlight Mr. Sami Aino, right on the African Portal Radio TV International. He's going to do the most of the talking, like I told you earlier on, but just to see some of the achievements of this great organization. Nothing is unattainable All you have to do is to take the first step. Take the first step and realize the great achievement at the end of it. Let me give opportunity to give room to the great leader of our time and the knowledgeable person in property and also a philanthropist. Let's just give him opportunity to take over this program this hour. And I will see you at the end of the program to end this program. I remain yours, Daryl Uluso. God bless you. I hand over the microphone to Mr. Sami Aino.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oluson. It's a beautiful opportunity one more time to be on this platform. I want to say good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you are listening to me. It's a beautiful, wonderful Sunday evening. And today, as Mr. Oluson has said, I will be sharing with us most of our viewers and possibly some of us who already is willing or they are willing to make investment into themselves. The last time we were talking on the platform, I remember one of the very strong points that were discussed is how we can bridge between what we call the practice and the principle. The practice and the principle. I'll be very privileged this evening to talk about some of the principles we have engaged as a company, like I said the other time, and as individuals, what is it that we have done that has helped us? So I believe it's a beautiful series. I'll be privileged to present to all of our listeners on the platform some wonderful principles that we need to succeed as an investor in investment, and either you are a business owner or you just want to develop just a basic career in anything. And so I would name that developing your primary asset base. Developing your primary asset base. Developing your primary asset base. Now, this is very important. Why asset? Because we are a company that believes that it is assets that funds our life. You cannot have a great life without good, amazing asset. And but most importantly, before our asset becomes a tangible thing, before you go to buy the land, before you go to build a house, before you go to make investment into that business, why exactly do you want to do? And over time, one of the things that I have personally learned that many people make decision when it comes to investment. They do that impulsively. They do that on school without a very low level of knowledge. And so today I would be sharing with us the first asset, the number one asset for anyone that want to succeed in any endeavor, that want to succeed, doing investment, either it is property investment, either it is just a career, you want to invest in your career, or you want to start a business. The first of these assets that I would love to share with us under the principle base is what I call the knowledge asset base. Number one, knowledge asset base. And human being, we are born to grow. Every human is born to grow. That is our essence of living. If you were born, the only reason why you were born on this planet Earth is for you to grow. And so I would also like to say that growing is not just important. Growing, when you just like you give birth to a baby, you want this baby to grow, it's not just an important thing, it is deliberately. That means every human is created, is born to grow, and growing is deliberately, very, very deliberate. Now, growth is not only accomplished by feeding, because if anyone that you want to, I want to grow as a person, I want to feed my body, I would just be eating. You have a little baby, and babies like to feed, I think almost every hour after hours, because they needed those food to grow up, just like an adult also. But you see, growth is only accomplished, can only accomplished by feeding. Feeding. The way we feed our general body is the same way we have to grow our knowledge asset base. Knowledge asset base. And so when I talk in terms of knowledge, I'm talking about the mind. The mind. And you see, when we talk about knowledge asset base, I want to refer it to as our pot of gold. That is our pot of gold. Feeding our mind as an individual is not only accomplished by just learning the truth, because the storage of truth in the mind is what I refer to as what the pot of gold. You see, it's not just for us to feed. It's not just enough to feed, but to feed on the truth. To feed on the truth. That is one very important point when it comes to developing your asset base called knowledge. Knowledge. Very, very important. We have to feed our mind with the truth. That is our pot of gold. I call it the pot of gold within our mind. And you see, learning to feed the mind is an intricate task. It's a bit difficult. It's challenging. It has to be deliberate, a deliberate process for us to accomplish the right result. It has to be deliberate. Now, for example, I remembered about 15 years ago when we came into properties. I mean, we were just, I would say we were just, interestingly, I never had a property background. Myself and my partner, we never had. I was just an engineering, I'm sure, in the polymer aspect, the chemical aspect. My partner, on the other hand, is an economist. I mean, is an economy, but we wanted to do this business called real estate. And I remember for the first few years, the first 2-3 years, we invested seriously in buying books, and sometimes 10 straight hours we lock ourselves up in the office when everybody has gone. We're there, we're reading, we're studying, we studied everything. I mean, there is no aspect of property that we did not study. You know, we studied about property in the Western region. We studied about property as in the context of our own country, all around. It was a broad study of what is it within the property market that we can invest in and succeed as a company. How do we do this business? How do you develop the team? All aspects of this business. For the first 3 years, we were buying books, we were getting information, we're trying to build our mind. And as we were doing that as leaders, we were carrying along all the team members. Now, why is it very, very important? Because it is not just enough to study, but you have to study deliberately. You have to study deliberately. It's unfortunate. I see a lot of people these days that go to investments that they do not even have an idea about. Oh, everybody's just buying land. I want to go and buy land. Everybody's just building house. I want to go and build house. Oh, that is good. But most importantly, we have also discovered that there are also what we call barren assets. Do you buy land in the right place? Do you build your house in the right place? Because as the year goes by, is your asset increasing in value? So over time, we have seen quite a lot of people that has come to us, because the land is cheap. They made investment in the land, and 5-10 years, the investment, the value of the land has not really appreciated. And so these are some of the secrets we discovered. I remember then, it was during those days we learned what it is, that the 3 principles of real estate. The first of them is you have to buy property in the part of development. That was a very profound information. The second is you do not wait to buy property. You buy property and wait, because you are speculating now. Then the third of it is you buy property where there is water, because human beings have what we call affinity for water. Now, these are very amazing information, because it's to a very, very great extent has influenced our choice of property. In the last 12 years, we've bought some of the most amazing property within the axis of Nigeria, as it were, in Lagos, and also even in the Southern Africa. Here in South Africa, some of the areas where we bought properties, we have developed assets. I mean, we've been privileged to build assets within a month or two. It's been bought, it's been sold. It's because we have an understanding of how to spot a good asset. So what am I saying is, one very area that you have to develop as a principle is to develop your capacity for knowledge. Our knowledge asset base is very, very, very important. And so in the process of trying to feed our mind, in the process of trying to get information, it's very, very important that we get information that is very, very relative to what we're trying to do. Now, a major challenge about the difficulty of learning is the process by which learning occurs. Most of the time, some of the things that we know, as it were, as a people, sometimes we're learning consciously, some of the time unconsciously. Now, the challenge of this is neither is bad, but what is most important thing, at every time you have to learn, make sure that you are learning deliberately. You are deliberate about what you want to learn, because the real proof of learning, you see, results, it reflects in our result. If you want to tell me that you are learning, your result will say that at large. And so very, very important, because sometimes if you cannot correlate what you learn to the result that you get, unfortunately, we've not really learned what is necessary. Because I say that all the time. If you want to know if you are learning, please just take a look at your result. Your result will reflect your capacity of knowledge. Your result is a proof of what you have learned. It's an outcome, and a complete aggregate of your knowledge. And so, this asset base is very, very crucial. Very, very crucial. Very, very crucial. It is good to build capacity for what is important. I want to say that for some of us, we are not too conversant. We are not too interested about our own success, unfortunately, and that means we learn at convenient. And my mentor said that if all you learn is at convenient, you are only interested to succeed. But if learning if success becomes important, if success become important to you as a person, you are committed to succeed. That means you do whatever it takes. You get the information that is necessary for you to grow as a person. You build your knowledge asset base. Like everybody know, gold is an asset that everyone would love to have. Gold is an asset that every single human being would love to be in possession of. Why? Because it is valuable. Gold is valuable. I remember just about a few months ago, I just decided to sell some piece of gold that I bought. About 10 years ago, just few some of them that are, and it's amazing how gold can increase in value. How gold can increase in value. And so that's exactly what it is when we build capacity for learning, when we build our capacity for knowledge, because it is highly, very valuable. So it is also, the right knowledge is important to anything we want to do. This is a very good principle. You see, learning to, you learn the right thing to acquire the truth. Like I say all the time, if all I do is to collect truth, I want to know the truth about everything. I want to know the truth about what I'm doing, about the environment I live in. I want to know the truth about the people that I move in their company. I want to know the truth about everything. Why is it very important to know the truth? Because truth will always give you a certain result. You are certain, your outcome is predictable. The outcome of truth is always predictable. Every time, the outcome of truth is always predictable. So I want to encourage us that this principle is cardinal to everything we want to do in life. You want to know how to raise good children, you need to build a good knowledge base for that. You want to know how to build a good marriage, you need to build a good base for that. You want to know how to build a good business, you need to build a good knowledge base for that. You want to know how to do good investment. It is always good to build your knowledge asset base, because every time, what we do also as a company is we like to teach our investors, we like to teach our clients. Some of the time we organize classes for them to understand, asset classes. Where do you buy property? Why do you invest in this? You see, why? Because most of the time we put our money where it cannot produce value for us. We put our energy where it cannot produce value for us. So it becomes very, very imperative, very, very important that in any endeavor, the first thing that we should strive to do is to acquire the right knowledge. The first thing is to acquire the right knowledge. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing on this platform. We're going to be teaching us about how to spot good, beautiful asset. But most importantly, I want to encourage, our viewers, our listeners, that it is good for you to have an idea of what you are making effort to do. If you want to invest in property, why don't you just take out some time to learn about it? Maybe 1 or 2 hours every week. Just make some good research about it. Where can I buy property? What is the value of this property, this area, whatever? It's always very good. I remember 12 years ago when I just moved into South Africa, as a country. I just relocated to the system, and for the first 3 months of my being in the system, every single day I wake up in the morning, had my bath, and I resume at the library. And interestingly, It was a free library. Everybody has an access to it. I spend averagely 6 to 8 hours every day in the library. I was reading. I was trying to get information about the system. I was reading everything that is possible. You see, but this is the secret. I discover the most amazing truth about the system called South Africa within those 90 days. I discovered about the property market. I read everything as possible that was available within the property market, how to make investment, where to make investment, where to live. Oh, what an amazing, amazing truth I discovered about the system. Wow. And believe me, honestly, I've done quite a bit well within the system because I was able to get some valuable information, the truth about how to live in South Africa and succeed, how to do the right business, where to go, who do you talk to. I got all of those information just visiting the library for the first 90 days of coming into the system. And that's exactly what I'm talking about tonight. You see, please don't play down on your capacity for knowledge, good information, your capacity to get the truth, because it will always reflect in your result. Our outcome in life ultimately reflects the capacity of the knowledge that we have. Our outcome, our results can directly be, you see, related to our capacity for good information, the truths that we know. And I'm always very excited to say that no human being is beyond learning at any age. No one person is beyond change. No one person is beyond the reach of success or a great life. I want to say that again. There is no person that is beyond learning. That means there is no one person that cannot learn. There is no one person that is beyond change. No one person that cannot change. There is no human being that is beyond the reach of success. Or a great life. No one person. Everyone can succeed. We can all succeed very well if only we decide today to do what is right. Every human being have the capacity, have all that it takes to succeed if only we decide now, today, if we do what is right. I know there are many people with genuine, beautiful dreams, visions, big goals. A lot of people, I've seen people talk to me. I've had discussions with people. I've been in spaces where I train a lot of people. They have beautiful visions, wonderful dreams, big goals. You know what? Unfortunately, they are not succeeding at some of these big dreams. They are not getting the real result at some of these big goals. Not because the dreams are bad. No, not because the goals are bad, but they are lacking the required knowledge to reinforce the actualization of the dream. A lot of people can succeed. Do you have a dream? I know there are people that are listening to me this evening. You are a part of this show tonight. I want to ask you, do you have a dream? Do you have this goal? Don't give up on that goal. Don't give up on that dream. This principle called knowledge asset is what you need. That is where you start from. How much do you know about your goal? How much information do you know about how to succeed about the dream? How much do you know about how to succeed about the investment you are about to make now? Most importantly, it is directly proportionate. Your success, our success, my success, everybody's success is directly proportionate to the capacity of our knowledge asset base, we cannot succeed more than we know. No human being can succeed more than what he or she knows. And so it becomes the most important thing, the number one principle as a people, as a company that has succeeded successively at a measure of grace. I want to say that by the grace of God, we have had quite a lot of challenges as a company, also individuals, but what is most important is we have succeeded more than we have failed. Because this evening is you need to build, develop, you need to acquire a robust knowledge asset base. Your capacity of knowledge will dictate. Your capacity of knowledge is what will help you to actualize on the dream, on the goal, on your desire, on that vision. And so tonight, it is my pleasure to be part of this one more time. And I am going to be handing over to my host, Mr. Joshua Oluson. And so till next week that I meet you again, I want to say, please keep learning. Don't stop learning. Keep growing. Don't stop growing. And keep succeeding. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. We really appreciate your time on this broadcast this hour. For those of you that you may have question or you have one thing or the other, you want to ask the Mr. Sami, I know is the presenter and also is the one in charge of this program. If there is anything you want to ask, you can simply call the number on the screen, or I will direct you to or link you up with him. This is a knowledge-based program where you can have understanding of what to invest on, how to invest. You know, there are some certain things that he mentioned during the presentation. He talked about we cannot succeed more than we know, and that is another very key word. Are you having a problem with all those keys? You can simply call Mr. Sami, I know, speak to me. I will direct you how to get in touch with him. And at the same time, he mentioned that if you are not getting anything, say get knowledge. Get knowledge, and this is another avenue for you to acquire knowledge. So join us next week by the grace of God. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a beautiful time with Mr. Sami, I know. Again, and he mentioned something before I round up the section and say, don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your dream. Your dream is very important. Don't give up on your dream. This is a sensational program that you need to click or sit on and listen to. Many of us prefer to listen to some program that is not adding any value to us. If you look at the social media today, millions of people are watching videos that is not adding any value to them. And this is the value added program that will help you as you are going in the journey of life, that will expose or open your eyes to the reality of the time. So I invite you, no matter the country you reside, no matter where you are, be part of this program. This is a new program on the African Portal Radio. And we are taking this product, we are converting it or growing it into brand. And it's going to be a great time. So I will be looking forward to have you on board next week by the grace of God. My sincere appreciation goes to Mr. Sami, I know, for coming out to be part of this great time. Your result must be in line with your process. So when you are getting your result, because the result is very important. One of the things that I learned from this great man is that they say, no matter what you are doing in life, result is very, very important. So that is always click in my brain that a result is the proof whether you do it right or you don't do it right. A secondary school child or a primary one student, when is the class of primary one, before you can go to primary two, you need to engage in exam. and your performance in that exam determine whether you'll be promoted to primary 2 or not. Results of that exam determine where you are going to. So what are you investing on? Are you investing right, or you are investing in a wrong way? So speak to experts. Let the experts give you how to do it. He has failed many times, but today is one of the successful businessmen in the continent of Africa, and is a co-founder of the company called WIP Africa. So join us next week by the grace of God. I will be moderator of this program, and at the same time I will be behind the scene listening to the program and also jotting down some important quotes that is coming out of this program. With this, I just want to say goodbye to everyone. Build capacity for knowledge. That is very important. Gold is valuable. You can invest on that as well. See you next week by the grace of God. I appreciate every one of you. And Mr. Somiano, thank you for coming out of your busy schedule. You give us time to be here every time, every hour on this station. This time,
Thank you very much.
we'll see you again. God bless you, sir. Bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We are doing an apartment on 3 acres of land, which is just in this